Hey everybody, how's it going? It's been a while since I've made a video, and I just wanted to make a video to kind of follow up from the last video that I made, where I compared the size of the Arcade1up machines to full-size arcade cabinets. That video seemed to get a lot of views. A lot of people were interested in, how realistic are these Arcade1up machines compared to the full-size arcade cabinets, or even the Cabaret arcade cabinet like this one right here. There were some things, I kind of made the video in a hurry. I'm not an experienced YouTuber, so I didn't think of everything. So I'm here to kind of answer some of the most common questions that I got after the video. One of the most common questions that I got was, my full-size Cabaret and my full-size arcade cabinet sit on wheels, and the wheels make these things much easier to move around because they weigh a ton. And what the wheels do, though, is they add a little bit of height to the machines, of course. And one of the most common questions I got was, it's like, hey, why didn't you just measure how big the wheels were, or how far the bottom of your arcade cabinets were off the ground, so we could get a more accurate idea of what the difference was between the height of a real arcade machine control surface versus the Arcade1up that sits on the riser, and how high its control surface was. So I measured, and the wheels add another 3 inches to my arcade cabinets. So there's actually they're 3 inches higher than they would be if they weren't on their wheels, and that does make a difference. Not a huge difference, but it makes a little bit of a difference. I'm 6'1", so Arcade1up claims that if you put one of their machines, which are 4 feet tall, on a riser, it makes it so an adult can play it, and it raises the control surface to the same height as a full-size arcade cabinet. That's pretty much true. So if I were to subtract 3 inches, this is the Arcade1up control surface, and this is the control surface of the missile command. So if I were to subtract 3 inches, it would pretty much be at the same height. So they are correct in their claim. And for me, as I said in the earlier videos, it's easy for me to stand here and play this. It's comfortable for me. It's not a problem. A couple of the other things, since it's been 8 months since I made a video, I wanted to let everybody know how well these things have held up. They've held up great. I haven't had any issues with them at all. I know there's some people that had issues with defects with the screens going out, or the gameplay not working right, or the controls breaking, but I haven't had any issues. In some of my first videos, I was critical of Arcade1up because of the quality. For one thing, the control surface was a painted surface, and right off the bat, when I got my first Asteroids, I was like, okay, this is going to wear out, because you rest your hands on the control surface and the paint's just going to rub off. And sure enough, that was the case. But I have to give credit to Arcade1up. They sent out free control panel overlays to everybody that bought an Arcade1up that wanted one. No charge for shipping. So these acrylic control panel overlays sit right on top, and they bolt to the original control surface. And they effectively solve the problem. I mean, it's plastic or acrylic. It's not going to, wear out from your hands resting on it. So that solves the problem, and it's a great solution. Since these units have come out, there's been a lot of modifications out there that people have done. A lot of people have put Raspberry Pis in these and made them so they can play, 1,000, 2,000 games, Pandora's box, all that stuff. I haven't done any of that stuff because I kind of just wanted it to be more of a retro piece from what I remember when I was a child growing up. So I've left them pretty much stock. One thing that I did do is I added these graphics to the front. Tyler Goodman at Arcade Graphics makes these graphics. He sells them for a really reasonable price. I'll leave the link for his shop below my video, so you can order some if you want to. But this is one part that he sells as a kit. And then for the riser, he sells a lot of different styles as well. So you can, match your riser to your arcade cabinet and kind of get something that looks like it's all one piece. So it's a great modification. I'm going to grab the phone really quick here and just kind of show you up close what the control panel overlays look like that protect the surface. And then the last thing I wanted to go over is when I first got the Asteroids machine, one of my biggest complaints was the spinner, because there's Tempest in the Asteroids and the spinner was terrible. It just wasn't good and the gameplay wasn't good. There is a solution for that now, so I'm going to show that to everybody as well. So here's the acrylic overlay for the Pac-Man. It fits really well. No modifications were necessary. The holes line up perfectly. It bolts right to the cabinet. One thing that I did get were these finishing washers. So if you look at the bolt really closely, you can see the finishing washer there. Got it from Home Depot. Kind of adds a nicer look instead of just having the bolt sit directly on the acrylic. So that's a nice touch. Here's the Galaga with the same acrylic overlay. Here's a close-up of the graphics on the bottom. There's a riser graphic there that kind of has the Galaga gameplay that covers the Arcade1up logo. There's the Pac-Man one. And then I wanted to show you really quick the spinner for the Tempest. So this is great. So there's a guy on Facebook. He also has a YouTube channel. His name is Glenn. And Glenn started the Arcade1up Facebook group, and then he took it upon himself to work with a vendor to make this spinner, because he knew everyone was unhappy with the spinner that came with the Asteroids, and he wanted to put something out there that was plug and play and inexpensive, and he accomplished that. So this spinner is available on Amazon. I know he's working on other colors as well. This is the original one that he came out with, which is just has an aluminum knob. It's not painted or anything, which is fine with me. The most important thing for me is the gameplay. And I can tell you that I installed it in 10 minutes. Super easy to install. No modifications are required. It's truly plug and play. And I can show you that your guy just spins around effortlessly when you spin the spinner. Whereas the Arcade1up one, there's this resistance. You had to twist it really hard to get it to move. So it really took away from the gameplay of Tempest. And it was plastic. This is aluminum. And it's weighted. And it turns very smoothly. It's on bearings. So it's a great piece. It's only $50, which is well worth it in my opinion. And you can get it on Amazon. I'll leave the link below. It also works with the 12-in-1 if you have a 12-in-1. There is a little interface board that you have to buy that he also sells. I think it's only $10. So for $60, you can get it for the 12-in-1 as well. So great modification. It solves the biggest shortcoming of this cabinet that I felt there was. So I'm really happy. I'm really happy with the outcome. So that's pretty much it. Just wanted to create this video just to let everybody know how these things are doing. Here's the Centipede one, and all four of my Arcade1ups have these acrylic overlays, which are available on the Arcade1up website. They were offering them for free, but I now think they charge like $15 or $16 for them. Still totally worth it in my opinion. So thank you everybody for watching the video. Thank you for watching my other videos. Feel free to leave questions if you have any, and I'll try and answer them as best as I can. Thank you.